Welcome to this sixth video lecture of concrete production or concrete chain. Now this is one of the most important topic. I am not saying that other elements are not important, but I myself consider this topic as the most important topic because being contractor or being civil engineer, we cannot avoid curing the concrete. But as a contractor, what they do, they don't want to use a labor after uh, using the concrete at the particular specific place. They don't want to put another labor because it incurred the cost of the labor. But it is the most important method by which the concrete is protected against loss of moisture, which is required for hydration and kept within the recommended temperature range. Actually, concrete derives its strength by hydration of cement particles that we had discussed already in first video lecture when we are talking about manufacturing of the cement. Now, this is not a momentary section. This is not for the movement only, but this process work for a long time. Now, if we just discuss again a small thing that cement require water cement ratio of 0.23. Why it is 0.23? I had discussed at the time of when I am discussing about hydration of cement, about tricalcium silicate and dicalcium silicate. So from that average, we had considered that 0.23% of, or you can say 23%. That 23% of water is required for the hydration and 15% of water is required for filling the gel pore. So if we add these two, then it comes 38%. It means that 38% water is required to hydrate all the particles and to occupy the gel pore or gel space. But practically, it is 38% means 0.38. Practically, 0.5 will be required to keep desirable relative humidity, because in open atmosphere, in exposed condition, we require higher water cement ratio. So it can be 0.5 or more than 0.5, but up to 0.7 only. Since the concrete is open to atmosphere, water used in concrete evaporates and water available will not be sufficient for effective hydration, particularly in the top region of the concrete, or you can say on the top surface of concrete. So we have to save that water. It means that what is curing? Curing is creation of favorable temperature or favorable environment during the early period for uninterrupted hydration. It means that you have to maintain suitable temperature and suitable moisture. In hot weather condition, when concreting is done, kindly pay your attention that in hot weather condition, when concreting is done, it results in quick surface drying. Which surface is drying? The top surface is drying. And movement of moisture from interior to surface. It means that there is a development of steep moisture gradient, and this steep moisture gradient can cause internal stresses which can lead to internal microcracks in the concrete while hydration. And all of us we know that cement or concrete releases the heat of hydration, and this heat is harmful from point of view of volume stability. It means that I am discussing about volume stability, and this curing can take place immediately after placing and compacting the concrete, and it involves maintenance of desired moisture and temperature conditions both at the depth and near the surface, and this has been done for extended period of time, for some time. This properly cured concrete has an adequate amount of moisture so that there should be a proper hydration, the development of strength, stability of the volume, resistance to freezing and thawing, abrasion, and scaling resistance. Now, what are those factors which decide the curing time? Why? Because length of the adequate curing is should be maintained. So they are dependent on following factors. That is mixture proportions. What is the proportion of the mix? It is lean mix or rich mix. What for what strength you had designed the concrete? That is for specified, or you can say target strength. What is the size and what is the shape of concrete member? What is the ambient weather conditions? Now, what is the future exposure conditions? These are all the factors which decide the time of curing, or you can say length of curing. Now, if you see in the figure, it is between penetration resistance and time since batching. Now, there is a window of finishability. At what time you can finish the concrete? In initial set time, water can bleed, and this bleed water, if it is equal to rate of evaporation, then it is very good. Now finishing can start just after the initial set, and finishing has to be completed before the final set. Now if you see this figure, before initial set, transporting has to be done, placing has to be done, consolidation, that is compaction, has to be done. If there is any bull float, strike it off. After this initial set has started, the concrete has started setting. Now floating, brooming, troweling means whatever finishability you want to give, it is the time. And now it is reaching towards the final set. And at all this time, after the initial set and after you had completed floating, brooming and troweling, the curing has to be started. And when it is finally set, then you have to start the final curing. The time at which you have to make a balance between temperature and the moisture of the concrete. Now, what are the methods of curing? There are several methods from which we can cure the concrete. Now this curing, first I will discuss about water curing. Means when we are using water so that the moisture is maintained and the temperature is kept constant for the concrete, then it is known as water curing. Now this water curing is again classified in four types. First is ponding and immersion. Now in this ponding and immersion, this is used to cure flat surface. When the job is smaller, you can make a pond, you can use mud to boundary it, and then you can fill the water. But this can be done only for smaller jobs. And care should be taken to maintain the temperature of water which is used to be for curing. Because suppose that you had ponded, you had filled the water and the temperature is too high, it is 48 degrees centigrade, or it is somewhere at 53, 50, above 50. So you have to maintain the temperature. You have to make it a temperature up to 25 or 30 degrees centigrade of the water, and by water, the temperature of concrete. Next is spraying and fogging. Or before I going for that spraying and fogging, I just want to add in the ponding and immersion that the curing temperature of the water should not be more than 20 degree Fahrenheit because it can prevent the cracking which can induced due to thermal stresses. Immersion is mainly used for curing in the laboratory or for curing the concrete test specimen or for prefabricated structure. Generally at site we use ponding. Now when I discuss about spraying and fogging, then they are used when the ambient temperature are well above the freezing and when the humidity in atmosphere is low. Fogging can minimize plastic shrinkage cracking until the concrete attains final set. Now third one is saturated wet covering. Wet covering saturated with water should be used after concrete has hardened enough so that there should not be any surface damage. Because if it is horizontal surface and some vehicle will pass over it, then the mark of the tire or that any vehicle will be there for permanent. And when you are using saturated wet covering method, then they should be kept constantly wet. The fourth one is left in place forms. Left in place forms means it usually provides satisfactory protection against moisture loss for formed concrete surfaces where shuttering is not yet released, where still the concrete is within the formwork. Sometimes the forms are usually left at the places or at the site as long as the construction schedule allow it. So if the forms are made of wood, they should be kept moist, especially during hot, dry weather. But remember one thing, that if you are moistening the wood formwork, then there are chances that warping should be there, that the shuttering will wrap around when you deformed it. when you de-shutter it. There are chances because most of the shuttering is of that type only. Nobody is using the best quality wood for shuttering because it incurred cost. Next type of curing is membrane curing. Now, membrane curing can be classified under two types. First is covering concrete with impervious paper or plastic sheets, or covering the concrete by some compound, that is applying member forming curing compounds. Now I will discuss first the use of plastic sheets or impervious paper. This impervious paper or plastic sheet can be applied thoroughly wetted concrete. Now the concrete surface is hard enough so that it should prevent the damage from placement activities. So after wetting it, you covered it with some sheet. Now this plastic sheet or impervious paper will help to prevent the evaporation of moisture from the concrete, and by this we can cure the concrete. This method is used when there is a scarcity of water. The next method is applying member forming curing compounds. Actually, these compounds are used to retard or to reduce the evaporation of moisture from the concrete. They can be clear, translucent, or white pigmented color. Actually, white pigmented compounds are recommended for hot and sunny weather conditions so that they can reflect the solar radiation. Now, this curing compound should be applied immediately after final finishing. Otherwise, the moisture will be evaporate. The next method of curing is application of heat. Now, in application of heat, there are several methods. The first method is live steam. Now, in this method, some engineers, some contractors got confused that we never allow heating the concrete, because when you heat the concrete, thermal stresses or thermal gradient can develop. But in this condition, in this method, we are using steam. We are not using direct heat. Now, live steam at atmospheric pressure, and another method is live steam at high pressure. In autoclaves are two methods of steam curing. In this method, the steam temperature at atmospheric pressure should be kept at about 140 degree Fahrenheit or less until the desired concrete strength is achieved. Now, this is one method. Another method is heating coil method. It is a new research, new advancement on the application of heat curing. In this method, heating coils are embedded on the surface of concrete element. Now, their purpose is to protect the concrete, but this method is done only when you are doing cold weather concreting, when freezing is expected and the temperature is not too much. It has to be kept according to the weather conditions. The third method is electrical heated forms or pads. They are used only in the case of precast concrete producers. And the next method is concrete blankets. It is also an advancement in curing methods. They are used to cover and insulate concrete surfaces which are subjected to freezing temperature during the curing period. The concrete should be hard enough to prevent surface damage when you are covering it with concrete blankets. There are other forms of curing also, which include internal moist curing with lightweight aggregate or using polymers or for mass concreting. In case of mass concreting, this is especially for the elements which are thicker than 3 feet. In this condition, a thermal control plant is usually developed to control the thermal stresses. Apart from these methods, some miscellaneous methods are also there. In this miscellaneous method, chemicals such as calcium chloride, it is coated on the surface. Now, all of us, we know that calcium chloride is a salt. It shows affinity for the moisture, and moisture prevent the mixing water from evaporation and keep the concrete wet. Now, curing in either cold or hot weather requires additional attention. In cold weather, some of the procedures include heated enclosures, evaporation reducers, curing compounds, insulating with the blankets. Actually, the temperature of fresh concrete shall be above or up to 50 degrees Fahrenheit. In the cold weather concreting, the period for curing is longer than the standard period. Why? Because there is a reduced rate of strength gain. Compressive strength of concrete cured and maintained at temperature is expected to gain strength half as quickly as the concrete cured in higher degree. That is why in hot weather, curing and protection are critical. Why? Because there is a rapid moisture loss from the surface. So sunscreen, windscreen, foggings, evaporations, retardants can be used. Since concrete strength gain in hot weather is faster, then you can reduce the curing period. I hope by this video lecture, the methods of curing and the purpose of curing is clear to you. Thank you.